Hello, and welcome to the April edition of Extra. I'm Joanne Hines.
And I'm Georgia Lash. Here at Extra, we bring you expanded coverage of recently broadcast features from Sun City News.
As we look back to our March news shows, we were up to our shamrocks in St. Patrick's cultural experiences, thanks to the Sun City Irish Heritage Club, who shared these with us.
Let's start with our reporter, Chris Chase, or as she was called last month, Chris O'Chase, who checked in with the Rapparees, a SIG of the Irish Heritage Club.
1, 2, 3.
If you're Irish, come into the parlor. There's a welcome there for you. And if your name is Timothy or Pat, as long as you come from Ireland, there's a welcome on the map. If you come from the mountains of Mourne or Killarney's lake so blue, we'll sing you a song, we'll make a fuss. Whoever you are, you're one of us. If you're Irish, this is the place for you.
Well, good afternoon, all. How are we all today? Good. We're your neighbors from across the street at Sun City. We call ourselves the Rapparees. That doesn't mean we sing rap music. We don't know what rap music is. But in ancient Ireland, there was a group of highwaymen who rode around and stole from the rich, gave some of it to the poor, but kept most of it themselves. And they carried swords, and the swords were known as rapiers, and that's why we call ourselves the Rapparees. We're going to entertain you today with some traditional Irish songs. We're coming up on what the Irish call the High Holy Days, the Feast of St. Patrick, less than a month away. So if you know the words to any of these songs, please join in.
Now, Brian, how long has this group been together?
Oh, I'm tempted to say 150 years, but it's actually only 12.
Well, it's wonderful. Now, do you go around to many places, do your gigs?
We do. We try to meet once a week, and about half of that is practice, and the other half are going to gigs at nursing homes. We particularly like to go to memory units, because what we find there is some of these people who really are not communicative at all, when we start singing songs, they know all of a sudden you see their lips moving, and they're mouthing the song, and that's a very nice thing to see.
I saw a lot of that with toe tap in here.
Okay. But it's even more so when you see at the memory unit, people who are almost non-communicative are able to start mouthing the words to our songs.
Well, you did a beautiful job. Thank you, Brian.
Well, thank you very much. It's been our pleasure.
Now, let's go see some of the singers. Let's start with you. And what's your name, and how long have you been with the group?
My name is Ann Sheehan, and I've been with the group 7 years, as long as I'm in Sun City.
Like Sun City, right?
I do like it, yes.
Had to get that plug in there.
Ed Edwards, and I've been here for 12 years.
So you've been with it since the beginning. Come over here.
Hi, Lenora Small. I've been with it from the beginning, and now I have all the rust on my name tag to prove it.
But you wear it well.
Hi, I'm Emmett Gallagher. Been with them for 3 years, and we love what we're doing.
Gallagher.
My name is Tom Russell, and I've been with the Rapparees for 5 years.
And?
Marie Rafferty, and I've been with them from the beginning, which I think is about 12 years.
So from the beginning.
Mary Keller, and I've been with them for about 5 years.
They picked on you with that song too, didn't they?
They did.
Julie Russell, 5 years.
Joe Edwards, 10 years.
Angela Wagner, 4 years.
You're a newbie.
I'm fairly newbie, yes.
Hi, I'm Janet Isaacs, and I've been with the group since the beginning. When we used to meet in each other's homes, we didn't have a room to meet in as we do now.
Moving on up.
Hi, I'm Susan O'Mascalino. And
O'Mascalino. Okay. You're the newbie, right?
I am, 2 months.
Good job.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tricia Conley McLaren, and I've been together with this group since we started. As Janet said, we used to sing in people's homes. Now we practice on Thursdays at Riverbend.
Now, didn't I see you at the dancers?
Yes, you did.
I thought so. See, I remember these things.
Tom Collins. I've been with the group for about 9 years.
You were my favorite to interview last year. You have great Irish stories.
Carolyn Wilson. Carolyn Wilson, and I'm a newbie too. Susan and I came in about 2 months ago.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, love it.
Love it. I love it too, and you've already asked me, so.
I think you people look like you need a good love song. So the next song we're going to sing is called Red is the Rose. It's an Irish lullaby or an Irish love song, and you may notice that the tune sounds a little familiar to you, even if you've never heard Red is the Rose. And the reason it's familiar to you is because the Irish stole it from the Scots. And in case you don't recognize what the Scots song is that it's taken from, when we get to the end, we'll sing you a chorus of the Scots song, and then you will recognize it. This one is called Red is the Rose. Am I right? Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows, and fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the rose, love, and I'll make the vow. And I'll be your true love forever. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
2, 3.
H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N spells Harrigan, Harrigan. Proud of all the Irish blood that's in me, in me. Till a man can say a word agin me, gin me. H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N-U-C. It's a name that a shame never has been connected with. Harrigan, that's me.
1, 2, 3.
For it was Mary, Mary, plain as any name can be, but with propriety, society will say Marie. But it was Mary, Mary, long before the fashions came. And there is something there that sounds so square, it's a grand old name.
So touching to hear how the Rapparees visit the area's memory units and the enjoyment that they provide.
Enjoy is the key word, Georgia. Chris O'Chase also enjoyed learning about Sun City's Irish dancers. Here's Chris at one of their practices.
Arches. And the other side arches. Cross over. You guys get ready to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. 2, 3, 4. Good. I got the end. There you go.
Now, Rosemary, how did all the Irish dancers get started?
Well, actually, they've started here in Sun City many years ago, before I lived here. And when I moved here, I saw that there was the Irish Club, and I saw that there were Irish dancers, and I've been dancing since I was 8 years old. So for me, this was something that was just wonderful to be able to come and make some friends. And we were not living here full time when we first moved up here, so we are now.
Now, how many do you have in your, call it a club?
Yes, we have 35 paid members, And we probably have anywhere from 15, 18, sometimes 20 people on a Tuesday morning that comes to class, and there's always enough people to be able to dance, and we kind of, just see who's there and how many, and just put together the dances
Now, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be going anywhere for any performances?
We don't have anything planned at the moment other than Rainbow of Rhythm we're doing here in Sun City in April. And right now my team we have 8 dancing in the show, and right now they are practicing.
Now, if anybody wanted to have them come maybe for their neighborhood or whatever, would you be available?
Sure, we could do that. You can contact me at rosemaryedge@hargrade.com.
Perfect, thank you. Now, speaking of practice, let's go see.
And now the ladies cross over, and the gentlemen cross over. And then we have go out to the wall with your opposite partner, and back. And now round the house.
No.
Wait, yes. Where did you start out?
I'm sorry. I was thinking of the
Remember where you start out.
We were wrong. Oh, wait, did we start? We did start here. So we were right where we were. Okay? No,
You're facing that way. You go to the partner in this group. You guys are facing that way. You go to the next partner in that group. Okay. This is how the crowd works. We'll explain.
You ready, Ed?
Are you doing this? Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
To the right. Cross over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ring the bells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Singular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looking good. Advance, advance, and back.
You can contact the Irish Heritage Dancers if you'd like them to perform for an event.
And once again, we appreciated all the Irish culture shared by our Sun City Irish Heritage Club.
Now, going on the theme of heritage, we've got the RBC Heritage Golf Classic coming up. Georgia, give us a plaid preview.
Our SCTV crew was invited to RBC Media Day. The crew got to check out who to look for on the links, and meeting with Stan Smith, they heard this year's plans to continue the generous charitable contributions the RBC generates. Let's take a look.
Okay, we're here with Steve Wilmot, who is the president of the Heritage Foundation. And tell us what's exciting about this year's tournament. Last year's 50th, hard to beat.
Well, it was, and there's certainly a lot that went into that, but there's a lot that went into this year as well, and we continue to. I mean, we want to, from the competition of Mother Nature, you have no control over that, but the surrounding things, the experience, whether it's the experience of getting here, parking here, getting transported down here before you even get to the tournament, but we also want to have, added value to the spectators and, different venues, different opportunities, different offerings as well, and that's something that we continue to learn each and every year. And just because we've done it away, let alone 5 years ago, let alone last year, might have been right, but is it right now?
I'm here with Stan Smith, who has devoted a lot of time and effort to making sure local charities and regional charities get their share. And Stan, how do you go about, as chairman of the committee, to select your charities?
Well, the charities have an option of getting involved with the Birdies for Charity, where they get their donors for their different charities to pledge X amount per birdie. So that's one way they do that, to raise money for the charity. And we match that 15%.
Okay.
Then we also have a Champions for Charity, where people will donate over $1,000, and they donate it through the Heritage Classic Foundation, and then we send that money plus another 15% to the charities for that.
And tell us a little bit about this 2018 PGA Tour Charity of the Year and how that came about.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You know, every tournament on the tour gets to nominate a charity each year. And so we've done that. We had a charity 3 years ago called Memory Matters, and that won the National Charity of the Year. And then
well, that matters a lot to Sun City people.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And then Second Helpings was nominated this year by us, and the PGA Tour selected Second Helpings, and it's an unbelievable charity. We've got many great charities. In fact, we support over 225 charities here in the Low Country. But Second Helpings is special, where they get food from grocery stores and restaurants and deliver it to various charities, like the Boys and Girls Club, which I'm involved in. They bring the food there. At the end of the day, when parents come to pick up their kids, they can get bread or fruits or frozen things, even some meats and things like that. So it's, in some cases, you know, we have a very, you know, affluent group of people that live in Hilton Head, but we also have quite a big number of people that are really kind of living by, you know, week to week. And so some of those families would not have food on the table without the Second Helpings effort. And it's really been a fantastic program.
Well, that is really terrific, and we're so appreciative of your efforts because of your commitments to junior tennis and so forth. And we thanks for your time today.
Well, thank you. Thanks for covering the tournament for us.
We're here on Media Day for the RBC Heritage, and we're with Angela McSwain, who is Director of Communication and Marketing. Angela, let me ask you a question. Tell us about the volunteers, how important they are, and how they come about to be, and how they get involved.
Sure. The RBC Heritage presented by Boeing is very lucky to have the volunteers that we have. We have some of the best volunteers on the PGA Tour. We have over 1,000 of them. I think there's 1,200 this year. And what makes us special, I think, is that our volunteers, most of them have come from somewhere else. They are newly retired or retired, so they have the time and the energy to dedicate to the RBC Heritage. Many of them ran companies and businesses and were business owners in their previous lives, and they come here with that passion, and we are the benefactor from that passion. So we are so lucky that they come here and share their leadership with their committees, and they build really strong teams that do a really good job for us.
Well, I know that Sun City provides a pretty good percentage of those volunteers, so that's really exciting.
We love the Sun City volunteers because a lot of them are new to the area, and we're able to introduce ourselves to them and bring them in and make us one of their first things that they become a part of when they're here. You know, we know that the volunteerism in our community is huge, that so many people do so much, and they are just as busy maybe as they were when they were full-time employees somewhere. So we really we love that they choose the Heritage Classic Foundation to spend some of their volunteer hours with.
Well, you obviously do a great job, and we thank you so much for your time today. This was a terrific meeting. We look forward to the next 50 days.
Thank you, me too.
Now that looked like fun. Maybe we should go next year.
But in the meantime, Joanne, well, that sounds good. Why don't you give us some news about what's going on in our Sun City golf courses?
Sure. One of our favorite stories was the recognition given to Sun City for the bunker improvements at Argent Lakes Golf Course. A frequent SCTV visitor, Charlie Kent, Director of Golf Operations, gives our reporter, Doug Wright, the details on the project.
We are here today at the Argent Lake practice area with Director of Golf Operations, Charlie Kent. And we're here to talk about the rebuild of the bunkers and the remaking of the landscape, and I take it you must be somewhat pleased at the result.
We've been getting really a tremendous response from the golfing community about how playable the bunkers are. You know, we're coming off of an extremely wet 2018 where we were close to 80 inches of rain, including the few inches of snow we had to start the year with. So, you know, we got through it. The bunkers held up wonderfully.
Tell us, you had a couple of choices on how to redo the bunkers, and which one did you choose and why?
So we ended up settling in with a capillary concrete construction, which is basically the drainage that's underneath the sand. If you remember, there was concrete up on the steep slopes, and then there's a liner that's at the base of the bunkers. And you know, there's both products. There's this other one called Better Billy Bunkers that's very heavily used, and there's a lot of courses that choose the capillary concrete. In fact, Troon Golf is involved with the reconstruction of the bunkers at Kapalua, where the tour plays, and they're going to switch all those bunkers to the capillary concrete construction as well. So it's kind of the way to do bunkers. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we were so pleased with how the bunkers turned out that we went ahead and redid the practice bunkers at Okatee and at Hidden Cypress because those needed work on them. So we said, if we're going to put money into it, let's do it the right way.
And I understand also that the work done here got a little recognition recently.
Well, you know, we put out a press release once the course reopened, and the way that works is different media outlets pick up on when courses are doing work and construction. So golfbusiness.com picked up our story, and in the February issue, which is online, they actually quoted me saying how happy we are with our capillary bunkers. So it was really nice to get national recognition.
I think that's terrific. And as far as completing the project, I know it's 99 9/10, but is there anything left to be done here at Argent Lakes?
Well, we want the trees to grow.
Okay.
So we put in 140 trees around the golf course, mainly focusing on the back 9 holes. So those have all gone in really well. We've had one tree kind of go south on us, but as soon as the ground firms up, we'll be able to get in there and replace that tree. So yeah, we're really excited to see what that'll look like this spring and summer when they all come in fully. And other than that, we're just looking forward to a great year. We're off to a good start already. You know, it's really been great is a lot of the association play. You know, we asked if they would play Argent more now that it looks and plays better, and they all responded in a positive way. So they've already reserved more play at Argent in 2019 than in any other year. So we're really happy to see the golfing community respond to the investment that was put into it.
Well, that's fantastic. And you mentioned that you have redone the practice bunkers at the other 2 golf courses. Any other future projects you want to mention?
Well, you know, at Hidden Cypress, the bunkers over there are very similar to Argent as far as the severity. So we can see a real need to improve how those bunkers play. We really liked how the practice bunker turned out over there. So our plan now going forward is to chip away and, you know, replace bunkers over the, you know, coming years. We can probably knock out anywhere from 4 to 6 bunkers a year. And then there could be a year coming up in the future where we are planning to regrass the greens, which we did at Okatee a few years ago, if you remember. That's still coming to Hidden Cypress. So we may, you know, look at finishing the bunker project at the same time while the course is closed. So we have some different options planned out.
That all sounds great. And as a player myself, I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. And we thank you for your time today and wish you luck in your future projects. Congratulations on the recognition.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks for coming out here and featuring the work that we're doing. And we're really happy with how it turned out.
Well, that's extra for April. I'm Joanne Hines. Please check out the program guide in Sun Stations for our other SCTV monthly shows.
And I'm Georgia Lash. Thank you for watching. Please join us again next month as we bring you extra coverage of stories and features from Sun City News.